Okay, we can talk about the trailer.
We can talk about the trailer, yeah, because okay, so just before I click record, you said something about that Matt Smith was the only actor in any of the Game of Thrones stuff that took you out of it. And actually,
Yeah, and initially he won me. I mean, obviously he won me over. He's a great
mm,
actor, but like the initial shock of seeing him in the show, like I saw him as the actor, not
mm,
as the character at first. Took me a
Yeah,
little.
so we were discussing in general the fact that the casting of Game of Thrones is dominantly unknowns. Like in the main series, it was Lena Headey and Sean Bean were the only two that I
oh,
kind of really
yeah. Well, see,
Yeah.
sort of, but then you've got Mark Addy, who I wasn't super familiar with a lot of his stuff until he was in Game of Thrones, who also actually is almost the opposite of the Matt Smith take you out of it. He looks like he was in there, but Mark Addy has been in like a million like British films. You got Charles Dance.
yeah. But
Oh,
none of them were like,
who's the guy that plays?
Game of Thrones was the exception to the
Yeah,
so
yeah,
far
yeah.
the three different series of Song of Ice and Fire that we've had so
Mhm.
far. That Game of Thrones had named actors. It was much less for House of the Dragon, and so far in this series, there's been almost none.
Mhm.
Matt Smith has been the probably the most actory actor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
in most Hollywood.
most Hollywood,
Yeah.
the most I think, yeah, the most movie star of the actors.
Mm.
I think Sean Bean, even though he was so well known, he he'd always had like a grounded TV roots sort of vibe.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So same with Lena Headey. Like I knew her from Sarah Connor Chronicles back in the day.
Hmm.
Great series, loved it. The fact that they could embody the roles, and it wasn't you'll see the movie star first and then the acting second.
Yeah.
Matt Smith, I think, is the only one that's really done that. And we were saying that potentially an actress who might have been at the premiere, if she turned up in one of these, it would be really taking you out of the moment.
Yeah, yeah. So the trailer itself, it was about 90 seconds long for the for season 3. I'm just sort of rewatching it now, and actually this it doesn't give you a whole lot, right? But there is actually one thing that I did kind of notice about it. In King's Landing, you see a shot with, I think it's, Alicent walking through one of the gates, and they have properly got the banner of the green and gold, the dragon, but with a field of green gold dragon, which is
Yeah, I see that.
like that's kind of interesting because throughout up until this point, Team Green has really gone in for, we're going to look like the real deal. That's going to be like a strong part of our strategy, is we're going to like take on all the iconography of like Aegon's crown, dragon pit, the blonde hair, like lean into that, the fact that he's male, all that kind of stuff. And then
Blackfire, the sword.
yeah, the sword as well, yeah. And but they, on one of their more like brazen icons, they've switched the colours around, which seems to be a bit of a detraction from that strategy. But
Well,
yeah.
You need to look different from the guys you're fighting, so you know
yeah, I think
which
part
ones to.
of it is they're going with the legitimate quote unquote branding, but they're also going with the more palatable political branding. So they're high towers. They're going with the kind of particularly because Rhaenyra has gone with more of a militant power, old Targaryen blood thing, and they're going with a more, we're highly educated, high tower, genteel, proper Seven sort of vibe. Going with the golden green is kind of a softer messaging, maybe.
I suppose, yeah, because one of the things about the Targaryens, and we see a little bit of this in Night of the Seven Kingdoms, is that they're often seen as separate from the rest of the Seven Kingdoms. Almost, they're not like the others. They're not like integrated. They're still conquerors, and the dragons keep them in that position. But I suppose by adopting some of the color livery of House Hightower, then it does make it seem like they're more integrated with Westerosi culture, possibly.
Yeah, because that was a lot of what because they were going. So he's got the. I can't remember which crown he's got. He's got the crown.
Aegon has got Aegon the Conqueror's crown, I believe.
He's got Aegon the Conqueror's crown, but Rhaenyra's got her father's crown.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
But generally, his political thing has been more.
Also, Jaehaerys's crown.
Yes.
Jaehaerys's. Yeah.
Sarah's.
I think I can see them going with a kind of softer, less blood and fire branding.
I suppose, but also from Otto Hightower's point of view, like this is a power grab for him. Like this might be the time for the Hightowers to actually start the process of bringing themselves a bit more forward, not hiding behind the Targaryen livery and iconography, but also like
more progressive, less traditionalist.
Yeah. So yeah, it could be. Also in the trailer, we see actually Aegon, who I think, as this is 28 seconds in, so as we remember, Aegon has escaped with Larys the Clubfoot. Mm-hmm. They seem to be walking through.
It's been so long, so thanks for reminding me.
Yeah, I need to rewatch this series before it comes out.
I'm gonna rewatch it, and I think I'm gonna reread these chapters of Fire and Blood because it's been a long time.
So I think I don't know if Aegon's shaved his head or if it's because it was burnt, his hair was burnt off or something like that.
I think it's damage. It's like burn scarring.
Yeah, because I see some wisps of gold, so maybe it's just like.
Yeah, remind me if I'm wrong, but he got burned by Aemon's dragon.
That's it, yeah.
And
Aemon in the trailer, he says something like, "The king has abdicated."
Yeah.
So yeah, and also so there's one guy, with a Hightower in a very nice looking Hightower armor. Standing in front of presumably a Hightower army. Yes, it's right. Is that Alicent? What's his name? Alicent's brother. I really liked him.
I think it was a different actor who played it in the last season, so it might be recast.
No, I hope it's not recast. It might just be a different Hightower. It might just be a Hightower general, new character in the series, something like that, maybe.
The thing is, I've just watched as my filler series for the last couple of weeks when I've been wanting something aesthetic and not really brainful. I've been watching The Nevers, which came out a couple of years ago and is Victorian sci-fi. It's fun, but it stars that actor. So when he popped up on screen, I was like, "Oh, it's him!" Okay, that threw me off a smidge. It's not Alicent's brother as was featured in the last season because Alicent's brother, as was featured in the last season, was played by one of the Foxes, as in the acting family.
I'm looking. Oh, they got 1,500 photographs here on IMDb, and they're all from all series. I'm just trying to see. I'm going to look at casting. Let's have a look at casting. Okay, casting. Let's see. Okay, Olivia Cook, Steve Toussaint, got Grandmaster Orwell, Kristen Cole. Do you know, I was thinking about this. Do you know what? I do feel a little bit more sorry for Kristen Cole through this whole process.
I think we've mentioned that every podcast this season. I mean, again, I need to rewatch the series to see whether or not our discussion holds up when I re-experience the show.
So I'm looking at this now. Did you know? So is Gwaine Hightower is her brother?
That's the one. Yeah.
The last season, but there was a different actor that played him in season 1 that played him in season 2.
He was in season 1.
Apparently. See, it's been so long. No.
I need to rewatch it and see whether or not they've recast, because it's quite possible.
So this could be the third. This could be the third Gawain Hightower.
Why have we just assumed that he's going to be Gawain Hightower? He could be
He's
any.
got a Hightower thing, and he's a young, good-looking, brown-haired dude. It seems in keeping with the general aesthetic of the Hightowers.
Oh, hang on a minute. Is there another But there might be another Hightower. There might be a general.
Yeah, one of her brothers was, or one of her sons is off screen and hasn't appeared yet. Correct?
Darren, I think he's been mentioned in the show, but they've never shown him. And yeah, he's in Old Town.
That could be him. That could be anyone. It could be anyone. I'm not. Yeah. I don't. I think they've got to keep Freddie Fox as I really enjoyed his time on screen, and I want to see more of him, especially with him and Kristen Cole.
Yeah.
It says, according to the Game of Thrones wiki, it says he's in season 3.
There we go.
Okay.
Excellent.
So it must be a different Hightower, whether he's just a soldier or whether he's some other feature. Maybe he's, I don't know. I'll have to rewatch seasons in case that actor has appeared previously, and I just didn't notice.
We're definitely getting battles.
Yes. Yeah. I think the trailer itself was a lot of drama battle.
Mm.
It is one of the things that I've forgotten how continuously tense and stressful and high stakes House of the Dragon is versus Night of the Kingdoms. Night of the Kingdoms is so cozy by comparison.
Yeah, I have to say, Night of Seven Kingdoms might be my favorite show right now in the franchise.
I think
I 100% agree. I was talking to I was hanging out with my sister's friends today, and they said, "Oh, what are you doing this afternoon?" I said, "Oh, I'm going to hang out with some friends and talk about House of the Dragon and Night of the Seven Kingdoms." And they were like, "Oh, I've never seen it." And I said, "Well, Night of the Seven Kingdoms I can wholly recommend, and I will let you know once the season's finished. It holds up right to the end, but I can wholly recommend it. I genuinely think it's enjoyable.
It's the most accessible. I think it's definitely the most accessible.
So accessible. It's got likable characters that are relatable, that live in a dark world, but it's not too cynical.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's digestible. It has so much good stuff in it. House of the Dragon would be my second series to recommend, even though that's much less accessible. And I don't know if I would recommend Game of Thrones to someone who's never seen it before.
To be honest,
I genuinely don't know. Partially because of the way that it's aged, and partially of the way that it ended.
It hasn't aged.
Me and Kelsey actually just started watching the show. We're halfway through season 1 now. It's her first time doing it, so I'm very curious to see what she thinks.
You posted.
Yeah. I think it is a harder sell than it might used to have been.
But it's also so much longer as well.
Yeah.
The three things that I would points away from it is the ending, the length, and I've said this every podcast in the same way that we've commented on Kristen Cole every podcast into Night of Seven Kingdom. But I feel like each series they've learnt a lot of lessons from.
Yeah.
And I feel like the fact that they learnt a lot of lessons in House of the Dragon in terms of telling a narrative that was a bit more character driven and also had more perspectives from behind the scenes coming in terms of gender representation, in terms of racial representation, in terms of making it felt so much more like they talked to the people that the story might involve or represent a bit more. And then I feel like they've again learned a lot of lessons with this season, this series, with some The Night of Seven Kingdoms. And so I don't want to it feels like it's evolved with each stage. But yeah, I don't know. I really enjoyed the series. I think this so far has been my favourite by a long shot.
Absolutely.
Genuinely recommend it.